Human history is rife with conflict. From ancient battles for territory to modern ideological clashes, the struggle for power and dominance seems woven into our DNA. We've drawn borders, built walls, and shed blood in the name of nations, religions, and ideologies. Images of war-torn cities and divided societies are etched into our collective memory, a stark reminder of our capacity for violence. From the Peloponnesian War to the World Wars, the narrative of humanity is punctuated by periods of intense conflict. These events, while devastating, often overshadow the countless smaller conflicts that plague our daily existence. We see it in our personal lives, our political systems, and even in our online interactions, where disagreements can quickly escalate into virtual battlefields. But are we inherently wired for conflict? Is this us versus them mentality an inescapable aspect of the human condition? Or is it a learned behavior, a product of our social and cultural conditioning? As we stand at the cusp of a new era marked by unprecedented global interconnectedness, it's time to confront these uncomfortable truths and ask ourselves a fundamental question. The world is shrinking. Thanks to advances in technology, we are more connected than ever before. We can communicate with people across the globe in real time, share ideas, and build relationships that transcend geographical boundaries. Yet, despite this interconnectedness, we continue to cling to divisions. We erect barriers, physical and ideological, that separate us from the other. The question then arises, wouldn't we be better off if we focused on coexistence rather than division? Imagine a world where collaboration trumps competition, where differences are seen as strengths rather than threats. Is such a world merely a utopian dream, or can we harness our collective ingenuity to break free from the shackles of our combative past? Coexistence, however, does not necessitate uniformity. It's not about erasing our differences, our unique cultures and identities. To understand the roots of our combative nature, we must journey back to the dawn of humanity. Imagine a time when survival was a daily struggle, a constant battle against predators, the elements, and the ever-present threat of starvation. In this harsh and unforgiving world, our ancestors learned that strength lay in numbers, in the collective power of the tribe. The instinct to band together, to protect one's own, is deeply ingrained in our DNA. This tribal instinct served us well in the early days, providing safety, security, and a sense of belonging. However, it also sowed the seeds of an us versus them mentality that continues to shape our world today. This innate need for group affiliation manifested in the formation of tight-knit communities, where loyalty to the tribe was paramount. As humans transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled agricultural societies, the concept of territory took on new significance. No longer dependent on the whims of nature, our ancestors began to cultivate the land, establishing roots in specific locations. This transition, while marking a pivotal step in human development, also introduced a new dimension to our combative tendencies. With the rise of agriculture came the need to protect one's land, crops, and livestock from rival groups. Borders, initially rudimentary and fluid, emerged as a means of demarcating territory and defining the limits of one group's domain. These early boundaries, often marked by natural features like rivers or mountains, represented more than just physical lines on the earth. They symbolized the collective identity and security of the people living within them. The need to manage these increasingly complex societies, coupled with the ever-present threat of external conflict, led to the emergence of more formalized systems of governance. Tribes coalesced into chiefdoms, and eventually kingdoms and empires rose to prominence. These early states, while diverse in their structure and organization, shared a common purpose: to maintain order, protect their borders, and project power. The concept of the nation-state, as we know it today, is a relatively recent invention. However, its roots can be traced back to these early forms of governance. With the rise of nationalism in the 18th and 19th centuries, the idea of a nation as a distinct entity, defined by a shared language, culture, and history, gained widespread acceptance. While the desire for territory and resources played a significant role in shaping early human conflicts, economic competition emerged as a powerful driver of conflict in the modern era. The Industrial Revolution, with its insatiable appetite for raw materials and new markets, fueled a period of unprecedented economic expansion and competition among nations. The pursuit of wealth and economic dominance became a central tenet of national policy, leading to fierce rivalries between nations for control of resources, trade routes, and markets. Colonial empires, established during earlier periods of exploration and conquest, provided a steady stream of raw materials and captive markets for industrialized nations, further fueling the engine of economic competition. This relentless pursuit of profit, often at the expense of human rights and environmental sustainability, exacerbated existing inequalities and created new ones. The gap between the haves and have-nots widened, both within and between nations, creating conditions ripe for social unrest, revolution, and conflict. The Industrial Revolution, while ushering in an era of unprecedented technological advancement, also revolutionized warfare in ways that magnified its destructive potential. Mass production techniques, initially applied to consumer goods, were quickly adapted to the manufacture of weapons, resulting in a dramatic increase in the scale and lethality of armed conflict. The 20th century, often hailed as the century of progress, became synonymous with some of the deadliest conflicts in human history. World War I, a gruesome testament to the horrors of industrialized warfare, saw millions perish in the trenches of Europe, mowed down by machine guns and poisoned by chemical weapons. The rise of totalitarian regimes in the aftermath of the war, fueled by extremist ideologies and a thirst for power, set the stage for another, even more devastating global conflict. World War II, a conflict that engulfed the globe, marked a terrifying new chapter in human brutality. The development and use of atomic bombs, weapons of unimaginable destructive power, demonstrated the terrifying heights to which human ingenuity could soar when driven by the demons of conflict. The mushroom clouds that rose over Hiroshima and Nagasaki served as chilling reminders of the stakes involved in the modern age. Section 2. A world divided, ideologies in conflict. The 20th century witnessed the clash of competing ideologies on a global scale. Communism, with its promise of economic equality and worker empowerment, challenged the existing capitalist order, leading to revolutions, proxy wars, and a fundamental reshaping of the geopolitical landscape. The Cold War, in essence, was a battle of ideas, a struggle for the hearts and minds of people around the world. The ideological divide between the communist East and the capitalist West manifested in a variety of ways, from the construction of physical barriers like the Berlin Wall to fierce competition in the realms of space exploration and sporting events. Every aspect of life, from education and healthcare to art and culture, became a battleground in the struggle for ideological supremacy. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, while seemingly marking the triumph of democracy and capitalism, did not signal an end to ideological conflict. New fault lines emerged, often rooted in religious, ethnic, or nationalist sentiments. Section 3. The Information Age, a double-edged sword. The advent of the internet and the digital revolution that followed ushered in an era of unprecedented access to information, connecting people across continents and fostering the free flow of ideas. However, this technological leap forward also brought with it new challenges, fundamentally altering the way we communicate, consume information, and perceive the world around us. The rise of social media platforms, while offering new avenues for connection and community building, also created echo chambers where individuals could surround themselves with like-minded voices, reinforcing existing biases and making it easier to demonize those with opposing viewpoints. Algorithms designed to personalize online experiences often serve to amplify extreme content, further polarizing public discourse. The spread of misinformation and disinformation online, often fueled by malicious actors seeking to sow discord and manipulate public opinion, further eroded trust in traditional institutions and exacerbated existing divisions. The line between fact and fiction blurred, making it increasingly challenging to engage in constructive dialogue and find common ground. Section 4. The social fabric unraveling division in the digital age. The cumulative effect of these technological and societal shifts has been a fraying of the social fabric, a deepening of existing divisions, and a rise in polarization across the globe. Political discourse, once characterized by civil disagreement and a willingness to compromise, has become increasingly acrimonious and dysfunctional, with opposing sides retreating further into their respective ideological trenches. Trust in institutions, from governments and media outlets to religious organizations and scientific bodies, has plummeted, creating a vacuum often filled by conspiracy theories, misinformation, and a general sense of disillusionment. This erosion of trust has made it increasingly difficult to address pressing global challenges like climate change, economic inequality, and public health crises, as solutions require cooperation and a shared understanding of reality. The rise of identity politics, while empowering marginalized groups to assert their rights and demand recognition, has also contributed to a fragmentation of society, with individuals increasingly defining themselves by their group affiliations rather than their shared humanity. Beacons of hope, glimmers of unity in a divided world. Despite the pervasive narratives of conflict and division that dominate our news cycles and social media feeds, glimmers of hope emerge from unexpected corners of the globe. Amidst the rancor of political debates and the clamour of competing ideologies, acts of compassion, collaboration and cross-cultural understanding shine through, reminding us of the inherent goodness and interconnectedness of humanity. These beacons of unity, while often overshadowed by the darker aspects of human nature, offer a compelling counter-narrative to the prevailing sense of cynicism and despair. They demonstrate that even in a world increasingly defined by its differences, the human spirit yearns for connection, understanding, and a sense of shared purpose. These acts of unity take many forms. Science without borders, collaboration in the pursuit of knowledge. The scientific community, driven by a shared thirst for knowledge, exemplifies international cooperation. Scientists transcend borders to unravel the mysteries of the universe and develop transformative technologies. The Human Genome Project united global researchers to map the human genetic code, revolutionizing biology. The International Space Station, a marvel of engineering, showcases international collaboration in space. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored the critical importance of global scientific collaboration. Humanity's helping hand transcending borders in times of need. Natural disasters unite people in compassion and solidarity. Differences melt away as individuals provide aid and support. In 2010, the world responded to Haiti's earthquake with immense support. Aid organizations and individuals mobilized resources globally. The 2004 Southeast Asia tsunami saw a similar global response. Countries contributed funds, personnel, and supplies tirelessly. Compassion and solidarity transcend borders and differences. We are one human family, interconnected and interdependent. The ties that bind cultural exchange and the celebration of diversity. Cultural exchange fosters understanding, empathy, and appreciation for the rich tapestry of human experience. Through music, art, literature, and food, we bridge cultural divides and celebrate our shared humanity. Music transcends cultural barriers, evoking emotions and forging connections. From Afrobeat to Indian classical, music fosters appreciation for cultural diversity. Art provides a powerful avenue for cultural exchange. Art conveys stories and emotions that transcend language barriers. Exhibitions promote cross-cultural dialogue and appreciation for human experience. Literature fosters cultural exchange. Through literature, we gain understanding of different lives and cultures. Reading diverse authors broadens horizons and deepens empathy. Reframing nationalism, love without borders. Nationalism, often portrayed as a divisive force, can also be a powerful source of unity and collective purpose. The key lies in reframing our understanding of nationalism, shifting away from the exclusionary US versus them mentality towards a more inclusive and compassionate approach that recognizes the shared humanity that binds us together. Loving one's country does not necessitate harboring animosity towards others. Just as we can cherish our own families without diminishing the value of other families, we can take pride in our national identities while acknowledging the inherent worth and dignity of those from different backgrounds and cultures. A more enlightened form of nationalism emphasizes the positive aspects of national identity, shared values, traditions, and aspirations, while recognizing that these qualities are not exclusive to any one nation or people. It celebrates the richness and diversity of human cultures, understanding that our differences are what make the world such a vibrant and fascinating place. This reframed nationalism promotes cooperation and collaboration, recognizing that the challenges facing humanity in the 21st century, climate change, pandemics, economic inequality, transcend national borders and require collective action to address effectively. The power of the people demanding unity through policy. While individual actions are essential in fostering a more united world, systemic change is crucial in addressing the root causes of division and promoting a more just and equitable society. The power to effect such change lies in the hands of the people, who must demand policies and leadership that prioritize unity, cooperation, and the common good. Citizens must hold their elected officials accountable for promoting policies that bridge divides rather than exacerbate them. This includes advocating for equitable economic policies that address income inequality, investing in education and healthcare systems that serve all members of society, and promoting diplomacy and conflict resolution over military interventionism. Demanding transparency and accountability from our leaders is crucial in combating corruption, promoting good governance, and ensuring that the voices of all citizens are heard and represented in the political process. Engaging in constructive dialogue with elected officials, participating in peaceful protests, and exercising our right to vote are all essential tools in advocating for a more just and equitable society. Supporting organizations and initiatives that promote peace-building, conflict resolution, and intercultural understanding is another crucial aspect of citizen action. By lending our voices, our time, and our resources to such efforts, we can help create a more peaceful and just world for ourselves and for future generations. Section 3. Bridging the Divide. Personal actions for a more united world. While the task of building a more united world may seem daunting, each of us has a role to play in fostering understanding, empathy, and connection in our daily lives. Small acts of kindness, multiplied across communities and continents, have the power to transform our world, one interaction at a time. One of the most powerful tools at our disposal is simple human conversation. Engaging in open and respectful dialogue with those who hold different views, listening with empathy, and seeking to understand their perspectives can help to break down stereotypes, build bridges of understanding, and foster a sense of shared humanity. Educating ourselves about different cultures, religions, and ways of life is another crucial step in overcoming prejudice and building a more inclusive society. Reading books, watching documentaries, attending cultural events, and engaging with people from different backgrounds can broaden our horizons, challenge our assumptions, and foster appreciation for the richness and diversity of human experience. Practicing random acts of kindness towards strangers, volunteering in our communities, and supporting organizations that promote social justice and equality are all tangible ways to make a difference in the world around us. By extending a helping hand, offering a kind word, or simply smiling at a stranger, we can brighten someone's day and contribute to a more compassionate and connected society. Section 4. Technology is potential transforming division into connection. While technology has amplified division, it also holds immense potential for fostering unity and understanding. The key lies in harnessing technology for good, bridging divides, and bringing people together. Social media can promote cross-cultural dialogue and share positive stories. Virtual reality fosters empathy by allowing users to experience others' perspectives. Online education democratizes access to knowledge, connecting learners globally. The challenge is to develop ethical guidelines and promote responsible online behavior, ensuring technology serves as a tool for unity and progress. Section 1. The Crossroads of Choice. As we stand at this critical juncture, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The path we choose will determine our future. Will we continue down the path of division and conflict, or choose empathy, cooperation, and sustainability? The choice is ours. We are all passengers on this fragile planet. Section 2. A Tapestry of Humanity. Imagine a world where differences are strengths, where diversity fuels creativity and innovation. A world where cooperation trumps competition and nations unite to address global challenges. Resources are shared equitably and peace and justice take precedence. This future is within our grasp if we choose to create it. It begins with a shift in mindset, recognizing our shared humanity. We are all connected and our well-being is linked. Let us weave a tapestry of humanity, celebrating diversity and cooperation. The time to act is now. The future depends on it.